Well, stuff happens.
Whoa, man, you just ran through a big pile of dog shit!
It happens.
What, shit?
Sometimes.
Well, sometimes you need to find a place to stay for a few nights while vacancies become available at the parks you're planning to stay at. And thanks to our gracious friends, Chuck and Carrie, we're being allowed to stay basically in their driveway till we catch up to our reservations. For those of you who aren't familiar with RV terminology, this is often called Mooch Docking, basically where friends or family offer you the kindness of letting you park your rig on their property. And in our case, Chuck brought us a 110 volt extension cord from their front patio, which would allow us to not have to use our generator. We stayed for 3 nights without any need for water or sewer. Helps to have really large tanks. And if it wasn't for Chuck, we might not have discovered a problem with the rig. I'll explain in a few moments. They have some amazing views of the Superstition Mountains here. We left our mooch dock and swung into a shop to see if we could get our problem addressed, then pulled into our next park. Here's kind of what happened. Okay, who says RVing isn't fun? Or at least full of interesting side roads? When we were doing our mooch docking a little while back, Shelley had mentioned to me that she heard a loud creaking and popping coming from the wheels on the RV on the driver's side. She said it a couple times before and actually asked me to get out and listen to it while she moved it around. Well, the noise seemed to be coming mostly whenever we were back in the RV or making tight turns. And we were in the middle of setting it up for our mooch docking experience. So, a friend of mine, Chuck, said to him it sounded like a spring had broken. So he crawls underneath, and he's a big man, and takes a look, and he says, "Oh my gosh, take a look at this." So I get down on my knees, get onto my back, crawl underneath, and it looks like the springs on this RV have actually flattened completely out. And a couple of the shackles that are holding the springs up on the driver's side were twisted pretty bad and bent over. So we crawled over to the other side and took a look, and sure enough, those springs had flattened out too, and those shackles were twisted. Now we've heard creaks and groans and squeaks and stuff like that for a while from the rig that we have. And coming from driving a bumper pull, we're used to that sort of noise as part of the stabilizer system for the hitch. Never thought that it was going to be something unusual or something we should pay more attention to. Now we have been noticing some tire wear for quite a while, and kind of an uneven wear, and it's made us a little bit nervous. So we've talked to several different mechanics about it, and the most common thing that came up, making a U-turn here, was, well, it possibly could be that the wheel itself and the hub, the nut that holds it on, had come loose a little bit or was never tightened properly, and that could cause that uneven wear. Now, what's really sad is that the business that we stopped at had somehow convinced our insurance company that the Grand Design was built improperly with the wrong axles on it. What they didn't take in account for was that all fifth wheels have a 20% weight that is covered by the pin box that's taken up by your tow vehicle. So when they looked at it and saw that it was about almost a 17,000 pound rig with only 7,000 pound axles, two of them, they determined without looking at the full stats that it was underbuilt and it needed to have new axles and 8,000 pound axles to do it. Unfortunately, insurance says, no, we're not going to cover that because it's not original equipment, and if you say that it's not safe and you won't insure it, we're not going to pay to have you put it back the way that it was. What a mess. We are now trying to contact Grand Design to help us sort this all out. We feel it is still drivable, but obviously do not want to do any more damage to the rig. And like the title says, stuff does happen. So please, travel safe. We'll keep you posted.